In this video, we are to create a zip trunk in the CUCM Cisco Call Manager to local gateway or router Cisco. First, you need to log in CUCM and we go to device and section trunk. So you need to create a new trunk and add new and select zip trunk and with default configuration click next, and you need to specify a name test for my case for my in this case, and device pool with the configuration default. You need to select security profile and zip profile because we are to work with the zip protocol. Security profile, default configuration, and zip profile. Before have I have to create a zip profile with either copy the standard configuration of the zip profile, but in this profile I enable the check in the ping option. Ping option is to test the status of the zip trunk. You can see the status, the up or down state. This is the only parameter that I have to enable for this video. You need to specify the IP address. This IP address is the local remote gateway when I point the CUCN and to local gateway. The port is 5060. The port is the zip, and save the configuration. We have an error destination address. Okay, because the problem is that I have IP address configured before for this trunk. Let me check. Let me change with other IP address to say the configuration. We can device puller. Let me change type error device, or let me change to other IP address because the IP address is out of range. Okay, let's say with default device pool. Let me delete this trunk and change this zip trunk and click and save. This all configuration in CUCM to create a zip trunk. We have the default parameters for some cases. For example, in device pool, we select the device and the default configuration and now security profile. In security profile you can change the transport protocol. For example, you can select TLS or UDP or TCP depending of the case. For this video, I have to select the default security profile. Let me show you the security profile that we have. New zip security profile. You need to write in the filter trunk and no security profile, or to find this trunk. You need to select zip security profile. After we were in the phone security profile is different. Phone security profile, you add this configuration the phone device, but security profile is to zip trunk. So fine. So we have two options. One is to conference bridge, and this is the zip security profile standard configuration. You can see the incoming port is with TCP and UDP, and outgoing, when the call is out to PCTN, for example, is via TCP. Or you can change to encryption with mode encryption in the zip trunk. You can select the TLS configuration, but you need to add different configuration to enable a zip trunk with TLS protocol. For this video, the protocol select is TCP. This is all configuration to create a zip trunk into the CUCM. We go to local gateway to write some commands to enable the communication between CUCM and this router. First, you need to configure the voice services with this command config the and voice services void. First, you need to enable or to allow different IP address to establish communication. You need to allow or you need to allow communication with different IP address. You can specify a host with one IP address, or you can specify a range of IP address. For this case, you can change. You can specify with a single IP address that is the CUCN, but you need to write the command IP address trusted list and enter. We have different commands to specify the IP address version 4. For this video, we are going to open all range of the IP address with a wildcard. To open all IP address is with a 000 and mask 000. With these two parameters, IP address with all zeros and mask with all zeros, you specify all range of IP address. This is not recommended in a production environment because it's on security environment for this router. You need to specify with which IP address you want to establish communication, or which IP address you can sign a link with the servers. That's all for this part and of security router. And then you need to specify the connection, the protocol. So you need to allow connection zip to zip for this case, zip to zip, because we are going to work with zip in the local gateway and the CUCN. So the connection for this video is zip to zip, but you can change the connection with other protocol that is H323. So with this command, you can write or you can configure the dial peers. Dial peers to route the dial plan to CUCM, or you need to specify which IP address do you want signaling with the server. For config T, dial peer, voice, and voice. After the voice, you specify the label. The label, uh, it's a number. For this video, 10, boy, destination, question mark is you can see the different commands that you can write into the dial peer. For this video, you need to specify the IP address and codec and version of the protocol. So you write session protocol zip version 2 to specify zip signaling zip, and then specify the codec low. When you write a codec into the dial, you just can use the single codec. For when you need to add a list of the different codecs, you need to configure a profile for the codecs. In the configuration global, you specify with a label the profile, and you add different or list priorities of codecs that you work. For this video, we just work with the single codec. In this case, is codec G17711 ULO. And then you can specify 18F, whatever 18F for this video. Relay, zip notify. It's a single DTF configuration. And you need to specify the patterns that you establish for when you send the numbers of the to CUCM. For this video, I use open wildcard. That it's a point. Point is when you specify all numbers, which whatever characters. It's a global wildcard to match the numbers. Point. Also, you need to specify the IP address that you point of the server. For this video, you need to specify the IP address of the CUCM. That in this case is determination.10. When you have this configuration, you should see the status of the zip trunk in up. You need to restart the zip trunk to see the status. The trunk is thinking. I need to wait a moment to see the status for this zip trunk. I need to wait a moment. At least we should see the status down. But in this moment, the throne is thinking. Okay, the full is services is full. So with this configuration, we have a Ziptron in status up. So far, this is the old configuration to establish communication via zip between CUCM and local gateway in your laboratory.